Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome in for your weekly reading for September 19th through 26th, 2025. For those of you that are new to me, I'm Joy Giovanni, Joyful Medium. I help people get clear messages and guidance from loved ones in the spirit world or from their own souls about their own lives. This week's reading looks a little bit challenging, so I just want to give you a heads up as we're diving in. But of course, with clarity also comes guidance in these readings, potentials, energy checks. So let's take a look at what the potentials and energy have in store for us this week. Lots of swords, which potentially means that we're expending lots of mental energy, wrestling, trying to think, trying to figure out, trying to sort what's happening. And it seems like perhaps there's a lot happening in our world this week. This first card is Nine of Swords. Now, this card, if you look at this person, this figure in this bed, they are just looking stressed and sleepless. And that's really what this card is about. Not letting those racing, stressful, rolling thoughts be so busy in your mind that you're losing sleep. It's just not effective. And the guidance here is to make sure that you're getting good rest. But I want to validate something for you with this next card, this Five of Swords. Perhaps some of what you're having these restless nights worrying about is actually warranted with this Five of Swords and with some of these other cards we're about to see. So this Five of Swords can indicate changes, but it can also be a change in the way we're interacting with people, a change in the way that we perceive people, or a change in the way that people are perceiving us. If you look at the figures in this card, this one figure is left alone to gather the rest of these swords while these other figures are walking off into the distance. So this could mean the breakdown of a communication. It could be a business relationship. It could be just a moving away from. So if people are moving away from you or stepping away or not wanting to collaborate in the same way anymore, just know that that is all part of this energy right now. And it's fair for you to also be thinking about how you want to be in collaboration, what is working for you and what is no longer working for you. Maybe we're not seeing eye to eye on ideas anymore and something needs to change. This isn't working anymore. Now, these next two cards are major arcana, so indicates possibly something going on for us more in our individual countries or even as a global family. These next two cards, I'm going to show them together. Justice and Judgment, which is really interesting to see these two cards together like this, especially when we're in a time of change and things falling away and sleepless nights. And you'll see with this last card, kind of a doubling down of that. So justice, indicating that whether it's in our own personal lives and communities or whether it's on a bigger scale, to really be weighing out things with clear head, with honest oversight, I want to say, not just really choosing sides, but more being in balance, really weighing out. If you see the scales of justice, that sword, we're seeing so many swords in this spread, this sword representing using your mind, using your intellect, using reason. If you notice those two pillars, it's about being fair and balanced and equitable. It's about not making a decision without seeing all the facts, without considering all the proverbial evidence and whatever is going on in your situation, and using both logic and reason and fairness as a part of this. And with this Judgment card really indicating that so much more truth has the potential to come to light right now. So not rushing to judgment, not making hasty decisions, wanting to make sure that we're kind of serving the best justice for all, if you will, in whatever is rising up this week. But Judgment letting us know that hopefully the best will be done for the most people. If you see those people celebrating as this judgment is handed out, this is just truth coming to light. And remembering that as this human family, the kindness, the compassion, the ability to show up for one another is really what continues to bind us, even during chaotic times, and is what continues to make us all part of this human family. Now, this last card is so interesting given all these others. This is this Seven of Swords. And while we often talk about seven as indicating not just changes, but choices, this card often indicates that someone in the mix is not being totally honest, is not being completely forthcoming. If you look at the figure in this card, they look like they are snatching 5 of these swords and kind of tiptoeing away, looking over their shoulder to understand whether someone's seeing them doing this, right? So this is just a little bit sneaky, a little bit stealthy, a little bit things going on behind the scenes or under the surface that we might not be aware of. So with these swords, just making sure, especially because we're seeing justice and judgment and 5 of swords and 9 of swords, making sure that we really are getting all the facts here, making sure that we're not just necessarily taking things at face value, but we're digging a little deeper, kind of that investigative journalism mindset here, right? Just to make sure that we're not missing anything. Things are not exactly what they seem here. And there's a high likelihood that in whatever scenario is showing up, that perhaps either someone in this situation is not kind of showing all of their cards, they're not being fully transparent, or if it tips into something a little bit more even sinister than that, could be intentionally withholding, manipulating, confusing information, right? So just be on your toes this week, slow to react, really taking your time to evaluate the things coming up for you, not losing sleep, right? Continuing to stay up and wrestle with whatever this information is so that you're losing sleep is just not going to be helpful in the overall energy for you. You're going to need the rest so you can have the mental energy and the groundedness to really deal with whatever this is this week that's greeting us. And this could be for you personally, or it could be just something happening for someone close to you in your life, but this is the energy that is showing up for this week. So lots of truth can come to light if we're willing to have it, if we're willing to mine for it, if we're willing to just not jump to conclusions, right? If we're willing to really take our time, weigh and measure, consider thoroughly. And I always think it's great to ask a wise mentor or advisor, or bounce things off of someone who maybe has more details or can have maybe like a more removed perspective on these facts that you're looking at. Not someone that's going to immediately take a side, but someone that could give a little wise guidance. And that could even be you in this situation, tuning in from an intuitive perspective, not just with the facts, but also kind of reading between the lines, taking more time to consider, really spending some time with our choices and decisions, watching what we say, considering what we want to share versus what we want to withhold personally, being honest, right? But choosing intentionally what we're going to share, when, and with whom. So that is what I have for you this week. Let me know how this is showing up for you. If you are new, or if you've been here for a while, I still have the monthly free community healings and the Spirit Speakeasy podcast. So get on my website, joyfulmedium.com. And if you look in the events section, you can sign up for the monthly free community healings and get those links. Those are live on Zoom every month with me. And the podcast is in the blog section of my website, joyfulmedium.com, where we on Spirit Speakeasy talk about all things mystical and metaphysical, and we talk to luminaries and inspirers of our time. So I hope that you will check that out wherever you listen to podcasts or on my website. Big hugs, lots of love. Bye for now.